Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Yours truly, Amy. In today's video, I wanted to go over the last book haul I did in December of this last year. It was just, I consider it a small book haul, really. But I've been doing most of my book hauls recently from Goodwill, my local Goodwill. I've been getting some really good deals. Can't complain. The books are usually in really good shape. Getting some good, as recent ones for me that I haven't read. But let me flip the camera around and I will show you what I got. Okay, so in this book haul, I got 8 books from Goodwill. And yes, they still have the tag on there. I got some good deals. Like the cheapest is $1.99, most expensive is $3.99. But this is the little stack I got, and let's get into talking about them. Okay, so the first one we'll go over is Megan Miranda's The Last House Guest. And I realize this is looking backwards probably, but I can't fix that right now. But I'll read you a little synopsis here. It says, Little Port, Maine has always felt like 2 separate towns, an idyllic vacation enclave for the wealthy whose summer homes dot the coastline, and simple harbor community for the year-round residents whose livelihoods rely on service to the visitors. So basically there's just 2 separate groups of people, the working class and the wealthy class. Okay, so typically fierce friendships never develop between them, but that's just what happens with summer girl Sadie Lohman and Little Port local Avery Greer. It says, for 6 summers, the girls are inseparable until Sadie is found dead. Yes. And while the police rule the death a suicide, Avery can't help but feel there are those in both communities, including a local detective and Sadie's brother Parker, who blame her. Oh my. Someone knows more than they are saying, and Avery has to uncover their secrets to clear her name before the facts are twisted against her. Okay, so what I like, it has a murder. Everybody feels like the lower class girl is always the one that gets blamed. So we're going to find out who did it. Who's holding secrets that killed this girl? Or did she commit suicide? We don't know. We're going to find out. Okay? So that's that one. I know it's backwards. Just bear with me. And then the second one is Shari Lapina. I say Sherry. It might be Shari. Sorry. It says Not a Happy Family. Okay? And this one is about Brecken Hill is an upstate. Brecken Hill is upstate New York, is an expensive place to live. You have to be rich to have a house there, and Fred and Sheila Merton certainly are rich, but even all their money can't protect them when a killer comes to call. Another murder, I think. The Mertons are brutally murdered. See, I told you. The night after an Easter dinner with their 3 adult children, who, of course, are devastated. Or are they? They each stand to inherit millions. They were never a happy family, thanks to their vindictive father and neglectful mother, but perhaps one of the siblings is more disturbed than anyone knew. Did someone snap after the dreadful evening, or did another person appear later that night with the worst of intentions? That must be what happened. After all, if one of the family were capable of something as gruesome as this, you'd know, wouldn't you? That's what it says in the book. So that's very intriguing. There was another by this author, a book that I wanted to read, but I found this one at Goodwill also. This is $1.99. So the paperbacks are $1.99 generally, but some of the bigger paperback, I don't know how they decide. Some of the paperbacks are $1.99. Some, I guess, the bigger paperbacks are $2.99, and then all the hardbacks are $3.99. Okay. And so the next one is Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. This is on my 24 books to read in 2024 also. So this one, Truman Capote, actually, there's a picture of him right there. He's dead now. There was a biopic movie done about him by Philip Seymour Hoffman, the actor, who's actually passed away now too. But that movie, I think it was called Capote. He did a really good job because I had seen interviews of Truman Capote and stuff, and I think that Philip got his voice down pretty good and his mannerisms. And anyway, that was a good movie. I think Philip might have won an Oscar even. You'd have to Google it to find out, but I think it was called Capote, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is the actor who played him. Anyway, so, and also just a side note there that Truman was also, I think he grew up with, but he had had a friendship with To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. Harper Lee and he were friends. They're both, I believe, well, I know she's from Alabama, so he had to have been from Alabama. And then they had a falling out, and I don't know before he passed away if they made up and rekindled their friendship or not. I don't know. You could probably Google it. But this one is about, so this is a nonfiction from what I understand. It's about events that really happened. And it says, on November 15th, 1959, in a small town of Holcomb, Kansas, 4 members of the Clutter family were savagely murdered by blasts from a shotgun held a few inches from their face. That's not good. There was no apparent motive for the crime, and there were almost no clues. As Truman Capote reconstructs the murder and the investigation that led to the capture, trial, and execution of the killers, he generates both mesmerizing suspense and astonishing empathy. In Cold Blood is a work that transcends its moment, yielding poignant insights into the nature of American violence. So, anyway, I've heard about this a long time. I just never read it, and honestly, I've wanted to read it. I just didn't buckle down and do it. So, we're doing it this year. And the next one is, I'm really excited because I found this copy at Goodwill. I was so excited when I found it. I was hoping nobody would see how excited I was and want to know why I wanted the book. But it's The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Yeah, I've been wanting to read this for a while. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. And on the back, it has a very small, it's not even a synopsis. It's just, I'll read it. It says, an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. Well, that has me right there because I love Ireland. I've been there. I love it. It's so beautiful. I love the people. I'm part Irish myself. And so that just had me right there with this book, is a remote Irish island. I mean, there. It says, the bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid. All have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is murdered. So I thought, I got a little confused. I thought they were picking people off, murdering, but apparently there's only one murder. But that's okay, because it's still going to be good. But yeah, a remote island, Ireland, a murder mystery. Can't go wrong. This is also on my 24 books to read in 2024. So I'm excited to get, I don't know when I'm getting to it, but I'm definitely reading it this year. And then the next one is another Agatha Christie one I found. I like these paperbacks. They're, I don't know what, it doesn't tell me where they're from. Anyway, this is the back, front. It's Death on the Nile. I had a smaller copy of this, a paperback, but when I found this one, these are the ones I like collecting. They're very floppy. I like that. Easy to hold. So this book, I've seen quite a few movie versions of this story, and they just recently did it. This one, I think a few years ago. The actor Kenneth Branagh, if I'm pronouncing that right, a British actor. He played the Hercule Poirot character, and they had a bunch of other actors in it. That one of them was the lady who played a Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, I believe is her name. She was in this movie. It was a good movie. I liked the movie, but I have never read the book, so I thought I have another Agatha Christie on my list this year to read for the 2024, the ABC Murders. But if I have time, I definitely want to get to this one too. But this one is about, it says, the tranquility of a cruise along the Nile was shattered by the discovery that Lynette Ridgway had been shot through the head. Oh my. She was young, stylish, and beautiful, a girl who had everything until she lost her life. Hercule Poirot recalled an earlier outburst by a fellow passenger. I like to put my dear little pistol against her head and just pull the trigger. Yet, in this exotic setting, nothing is ever quite what it seems. So, it's a Hercule Poirot novel by Agatha Christie. She has two main characters you probably heard of. Is Miss Marple is the other one. So this is the guy, he has a little mustache. Anyway, so that's that one. And then the next two I got in this haul, I found actually 3 Megan Miranda books. So I was very lucky because I'm thinking I'm very interested in her stories. They sound just right up my alley. So the next one here is The Girl from Widow Hills. Is that one. And this one is about apparently Arden Maynor was just a child when she was swept away while sleepwalking during a terrifying rainstorm and went missing for days. Strangers and friends, neighbors, and rescuers set up search parties and held vigils, praying for her safe return. Against all odds, she was found alive, clinging to the storm drain. The Girl from Widow Hills was a living miracle. Arden's mother wrote a book. Fame followed, fans and fan letters, creeps and stalkers. And every year, sorry, I lost my place. And every year, the anniversary, it all became too much. As soon as she was old enough, Arden changed her name and disappeared from the public eye. Now a young woman living hundreds of miles away, Arden goes by Olivia. She managed to stay off the radar for the last few years, but with the 20th, again, can't talk, anniversary of her rescue approaching, the media will inevitably renew its interest in Arden. Where is she now? Soon Olivia feels like she's being watched and begins sleepwalking again, like she did long ago, even walking outside her home, until late one night she jolts awake in her yard, and at her feet is the corpse of a man she knows, but from her previous life as Arden Maynor. The Girl from Widow Hills is about to become the center of the story once again, in the page turner from New York Times bestselling author Megan Miranda. Anyway, so yeah, it's a girl. She gets swept away in a storm. They ended up finding her, and then all this stuff happens. Her mom wrote a book, and she becomes famous, and then she hates it, so she moves away, changes her name, and then something happens again. And then the next Megan Miranda is Such a Quiet Place. So this looks like an interesting cover. It's like aerial view, like down on a woodsy neighborhood. I don't know if you can see that really. It looks, yeah. Anyway, so this one, I have no idea what this is about either. I just grabbed it because it's Megan Miranda. It says, welcome to Hollow's Edge, where you can find secret, scandal, and a suspected killer all on one street. Well, dang it, that sounds great. Hollow's Edge used to be a quiet place, but then came the murder of Brandon and Fiona Truitt. A year and a half later, Hollow's Edge is simmering. The residents are trapped by the trial of one of their own, Ruby Fletcher. That's a cool name. With her conviction overturned, Ruby waltzes right back to Hollow's Edge and into the home she shared with her friend Harper Nash. That's a cool name, too. Harper has always treated Ruby like a wayward younger sister, but now she's terrified. What could come of Ruby returning to the scene of the crime, and how can Harper possibly turn her away when she knows Ruby has nowhere to go? As suspicion spreads, it's increasingly clear that not everyone told the truth about the night of the Truett's murder. When Harper begins receiving threatening notes, she realizes she has to uncover the truth before someone else becomes the killer's next victim. Again, right up my alley. It's Such a Quiet Place. That's the name of that one. So far, I think I'm interested in every one of these. And then when I first started reading again as an adult, like an avid reader, I came across James Patterson's work. There was a movie that was coming out, and I wanted to see it. And I realized there was a book about it, and it was by James Patterson. And so I read the book before I seen the movie. I really enjoyed the book, so I really enjoy his work. It's not, I don't think it's, sorry James, but I don't think it's going to be like a literary classic like Truman Capote or Harper Lee or anything like that. But they're fun. It's a detective series, is the ones I follow with. There's a couple of series he has that I really like. It's the Women's Murder Club. And then this book I got here, I found at the Goodwill. It's 22 Seconds is the book. And it's part of it says a new Women's Murder Club novel. So his series of the Women's Murder Club, it starts at 1 and it goes, 20, I don't know where we're at. He might be at like 26 now. I'm a little behind, but I like in his books, I like to collect the hardbacks. So I have a bunch of James Patterson books that I have, and I usually try to get the hardbacks if I can find them. And so this one I found at Goodwill for $3.99. I mean, these run from probably, I know this one, it looked like it came from Target. But yeah, retail, these are running, like, if you don't get any discounts, it's like $29. And I know I've gotten books at Barnes and Noble before, and you get a little bit of discount, and it's still over $20 generally for a new hardback book. So this is a really good deal. It looks like to be in really good shape. Yeah, and this just follows a women's murder club series. It's detectives. There's a detective, a district attorney, a medical examiner, a reporter. There's like 4 of them, and I can't remember what the other one is. Anyway, so it's just a continuation into the series. Like I said, says 22 Seconds. I don't know what it's about. It's just the Women's Murder Club. So that is all the books I got at Goodwill. 8 books, and I paid just under, like a few pennies, just under $20 for these 8 books. And again, some of these I put in my my 24 books to read in 2024. I'm really excited that I got all these books. I love buying books. You ask my mom, she says I have too many books, but I am going to do a book unhaul. I might video that if you'd like to see that. I have so many books I got to go through that I'm not reading or I'm not interested in anymore. So I think I'm going to unhaul those, and I'll probably most likely donate them to Goodwill just because I get a lot of good deals there, and I feel like this is one spot to donate them that I know will probably be able to sell some of them. Anyway, so that is my last book haul I did in December 23, Goodwill. Hopefully this next year I will have some more book hauls to do, but yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit a like. I'm sorry if it still seems awkward on this. I did a little bit better trying to edit my videos, and it still feels awkward to video yourself and put it out there for the public to see, especially when you have no desire to be an actor or anything like that. So it's it's weird. If it feels awkward, it's because it is still. I don't know if I'll ever get over that, but wish me luck. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe got some ideas of either an author or a story or even a movie that you'd like to see out of this, the books I just got. Okay, see you later.